I do got to be honest with you. The story that we are following tonight is obviously what happened at the dinner last night in Washington, D.C. What is just your message on political violence?
Well, of course, it should never happen. I've been to the Washington Hilton many, many times. It's a huge venue. Very interestingly, there's a lot of attention given to the ballroom, the East Wing of the White House turned into a ballroom. And I think President Trump is exactly right. I think we'll be able to control security there much better than having it at the Washington Hilton. You're a little young to recall, but that's where Ronald Reagan was shot, right outside the Washington Hilton. So I'm not saying that they suffered insecurity. I think our law enforcement and Secret Service personnel in particular did a wonderful job. They were quick, and they have to make a quick decision. That could be a false positive, and it's a very difficult thing to do. But I think they performed superbly. They should get all the kudos for that. But I do think that we should not rely on private venues for all these major events where we have to kind of invent the entire security apparatus again to make sure that we don't have these things in the future. So
now, can you just touch a little bit more on? I know you just said it's terrible, but instead of just what happened last night, just political violence in general, and
there's no place for it, regardless of party, regardless of what you think. I mean, I abhor violence in any of its forms. And you're talking to a retired two-star general with 4 combat tours. I've lost people. And there's a place for violence, but this should be the last resort. And it should never be part of the political discourse. I mean, seriously, this country gives everybody enough constitutional rights to say what they need to say. We have a lot of different fora to do that, especially online with the internet. Everybody right now is a journalist, right, with a smartphone. Everybody is. It doesn't matter what your credentials are. So why don't they use that as the outlet? We do have the marketplace of ideas, and now it's the battle space of ideas. So why don't we rely on that for people to air their grievances rather than resort to any type of physical violence like what happened last night?
Thank you for commenting on that. Is there anything else you'd like to add, sir?
Well, I grew up in Virginia, and I served our country overseas a lot in many different countries, take care of the issues. I kind of feel like at this point I'm back here in Virginia fighting for the same principles that I was defending overseas. And I think it's a shame that we have to worry about our own borders, about just common sense solutions for the American people. I think people want security and they want prosperity, and that's why I'm running for U.S. Senate here in Virginia.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate